Hi, fam.
Hi Morgan, it's Tuesday, so I'm making my video. After giving me such a hard time last time about asking a really boring question, you followed it up by not even asking me one. So, just saying, watch your insults. Um, I know that my last video was rather boring. I do apologize. But I'm afraid it might have to wait another week before I can truly improve upon that because we have a very serious thing to talk about today, and that is my personal favorite childhood book. And it actually has had a rather large influence on my life, and I'm sure many people have read it. And I'm actually remember being rather outraged that you hadn't read it because it is life changing and the best story ever. And of course, the story I'm speaking of is The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. So I shall proceed. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. Oh, sorry. Picture. The picture's the street. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see, today, where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. This is where he was lifted from. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He says he stays in his lurkum on top of the store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. This is the Onceler's house. On the end of the rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and a shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's snail. This child, who's presumably us, is paying for the story, I suppose. Then he pulls out the pail, makes a most careful count, to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him, away in his snub, his secret strange hole, in his grooveless glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper of the phone, but the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Down slips the whisper-phone to your ear. The old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish beasts up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. This is the whisper-phone that we were speaking of. Yes. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of swami swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Now, tell me these are not the coolest trees ever, and I will tell you you're a liar, because they're awesome. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots, frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of humming fish humming while splashing around. These are the bare barbaloots. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts, the much softer than silk, and they made the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. And I felt great leaping of joy in my heart, and I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down the truffula trees with one chop. And with great skillful skill, with great speedy speed, I took this off tough and knit in a thneed. It's gonna be kind of beastly to cut down that whole tree in like one swipe, but whatever. What a Onceler. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump. Of the tree I chopped down, it was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Yay, it's the Lorax! Mister, he said in a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset, and shouted and puffed, What's the thing you've made out of my truffle tuft? Being scolded. Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool's need. But that very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I've always been confused as to who was calling stupid, the Lorax or the person who bought the thneed. Not really sure. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him, so shut up if you please. I rushed across the room, in no time at all, built a radio phone, I put a quick call. I called on my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, Listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Once-Led family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at the Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. I like how we can just, build a phone. What a beast. What a beast. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Once-Led family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffle trees. And as you can see, the forest is kind of getting a little bit ransacked. Sad day. Then, oh baby oh, how my business did grow, how chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. This guy should have just been an inventor. Like, why? Why make thneeds? You can invent stuff like crazy. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade of the barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffle fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle fruit to go round, and my poor barbaloots are getting the crummies, because they have no gas and no food in their tummies. The barbaloots are getting sick. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food. I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and sent them away. I, the Once-Ler, felt sad as I watched them go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. All of them walking away. I meant them no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factories, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. Of the thneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes, when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and whiffed. He sneezed and snuffled, he snarled and sniffed. Once-Ler, he cried with a crofulous croak. Once-Ler, you're making a smogulous smoke. My poor swami swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape the smog you smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax, his dander was up. Let me say a few words about Gluppity-Glup. Your machinery chugs on, day and night without stop, making Gluppity-Glup, also Sloppity-Slop. And what do you do with the leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. Gloppity glop. You're clumping the pond over where the hummingbird hummed. Ugh. Blip. You're clumping the pond where the hummingfish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, in search of some water that isn't so smeary.